is one of the most restricted places on Earth. Entire regions are heavily controlled. Some areas are almost impossible for civilians to access. But over the years, satellite imagery, unexplained discoveries, and missing records triggered a disturbing question. What exactly is hidden beneath Antarctica? For decades, most people saw it as nothing more than a frozen wasteland at the bottom of the Earth, empty, lifeless, irrelevant. But the reality is far stranger. Antarctica is one of the most isolated places on the planet, nearly impossible to survive in. Temperatures capable of shutting down aircraft engines, storms powerful enough to erase visibility within seconds, and months of complete darkness. Yet despite these extreme conditions, governments from around the world continue operating deep inside the continent. Research stations, military-supported logistics, restricted flight routes, constant monitoring. Officially, these missions exist for science, climate observation, geological research, environmental study. But over time, critics began questioning whether science alone could explain the level of secrecy surrounding Antarctica. Because unlike most places on Earth, access here is tightly controlled. Certain areas require special authorization. Independent travel is heavily restricted, and large sections of the continent remain almost completely unexplored. Which raises another question. If Antarctica is only a scientific research zone, why does it feel so inaccessible? And the deeper people looked into the continent, the more unusual the discoveries became. Beneath Antarctica's frozen surface, scientists discovered something extraordinary. Hidden lakes, ancient mountain ranges, massive underground rivers buried beneath layers of ice, entire landscapes, untouched for millions of years. And suddenly, Antarctica no longer looked like an empty frozen wasteland. It looked like a hidden world. A world buried beneath nearly 7 miles of ice. Isolated from the rest of humanity, protected by conditions almost impossible to survive. And for some researchers, that isolation became deeply suspicious. Because throughout the years, satellite scans of Antarctica occasionally revealed strange formations beneath the ice, patterns, shadows, unusual geometric structures. Some scientists dismissed them as natural formations. Others argued they were simply distortions caused by ice movement and satellite compression. But online investigators weren't convinced, because certain anomalies kept appearing, and some of them were difficult to explain. The deeper investigators looked into Antarctica, the more unusual the evidence became. Because for years, satellite imagery of the continent has continued triggering debate online, not over what was visible, but over what appeared to be hidden beneath the ice. Some images revealed strange geometric patterns. Others appeared to show massive dark formations buried deep below the frozen surface. Shapes that didn't seem entirely natural. In several cases, researchers pointed toward unusual heat signatures detected beneath Antarctic ice sheets, areas where temperatures appeared inconsistent with the surrounding environment. Scientists offered explanations: subglacial volcanic activity, geological pressure beneath the continent, natural heat trapped beneath layers of ice. And many experts insist these anomalies are completely explainable. But critics argued the explanations didn't answer every question, because certain discoveries kept repeating. Strange underground voids, unexplained formations, patterns beneath the ice that continued appearing across multiple scans. And the more advanced the technology became, the deeper researchers were suddenly able to see beneath Antarctica's surface. What they discovered changed the way many people viewed the continent entirely, because beneath Antarctica exists an entire hidden landscape. Massive mountain ranges, buried lakes isolated for millions of years, underground rivers flowing beneath layers of frozen darkness, entire ecosystems sealed away from the outside world. And suddenly, Antarctica no longer looked empty. It looked buried, hidden beneath nearly 7 miles of ice. It was a world humanity had barely explored. And for some investigators, that realization raised an unsettling possibility. If entire landscapes remained hidden beneath Antarctica, what else could still be down there? Over time, theories surrounding the continent began spreading far beyond scientific circles. Hidden structures, secret facilities, buried discoveries, ancient ruins trapped beneath the ice. Most claims remain unverified. Some are likely exaggerated, but the mystery itself never disappeared. Because even today, Antarctica remains one of the least understood places on Earth, and according to some researchers, one of the most heavily protected. Antarctica is often described as the last untouched place on Earth, but beneath the ice, almost nothing remains untouched. Because over the last several decades, researchers began uncovering evidence that Antarctica is constantly changing beneath the surface. Ice shelves shifting, massive fractures expanding across the continent, entire sections of frozen terrain slowly collapsing into the ocean. And with every new crack beneath the ice, more of Antarctica's hidden world was suddenly exposed. Advanced scanning technology revealed underground lakes buried beneath miles of frozen darkness, some completely sealed off from the outside world for millions of years. In several cases, researchers drilling deep into Antarctic ice discovered ancient microbial life forms, still surviving in total isolation, organisms that had never encountered the modern world, which raised a disturbing possibility. If life could survive beneath Antarctica for millions of years, what else might still exist below the surface? Over time, theories surrounding Antarctica grew darker. Some researchers focused on the science, others focused on the secrecy, because despite modern technology, enormous parts of Antarctica remain largely unexplored, and some regions continue operating under unusually restricted access. Critics argue that level of control feels excessive for a continent dedicated entirely to research, especially when military-supported logistics, restricted air routes, and unexplained operational reports continue appearing around the continent. Official explanations exist for many of these activities: harsh conditions, transportation support, scientific coordination. But for conspiracy investigators, the unanswered questions continued growing. Why are certain locations discussed so rarely? Why do some satellite images appear distorted or incomplete? And why has Antarctica remained surrounded by secrecy for so long? Then came one of the most controversial theories of all: the idea that something beneath Antarctica had already been discovered, not recently, but decades ago. Hidden structures, buried ruins, underground facilities concealed beneath layers of ice. No verified evidence has ever publicly confirmed these claims, and many experts dismiss them entirely. But the mystery surrounding Antarctica continued spreading online because the continent itself already feels impossible. A frozen world at the edge of civilization, isolated, restricted, almost completely detached from ordinary human life. And sometimes, the less access people have to a place, the more dangerous the theories surrounding it become. Maybe Antarctica is exactly what officials claim it is: a frozen continent dedicated to science, climate research, international cooperation. Maybe the strange formations beneath the ice are nothing more than natural geological structures. Distorted satellite imagery, volcanic heat trapped beneath the surface. Maybe every mystery surrounding Antarctica already has an explanation. But even now, the questions refuse to disappear, because Antarctica still remains one of the most isolated places on Earth. Vast regions remain largely unexplored. Access continues to be tightly controlled, and beneath miles of frozen darkness, enormous sections of the continent remain hidden from human eyes, which means one possibility still remains impossible to ignore. Humanity may not fully understand what exists beneath Antarctica yet, because throughout history, some of the world's most important discoveries remained hidden for decades before finally being revealed. And sometimes, the greatest mysteries are protected not by walls, but by isolation. Antarctica already feels separated from the rest of the world. Silent, empty, untouchable. A place where nature itself prevents most people from ever getting close. And perhaps that is exactly why the mystery surrounding the continent continues growing. Not because definitive proof has ever emerged, but because Antarctica still feels like something humanity hasn't fully uncovered. A hidden world, buried beneath ice older than recorded civilization. And until every unexplored region is fully understood, the theories will continue. The investigations will continue. And the question will continue surviving. What exactly is hidden beneath Antarctica? Because somewhere beneath the ice, in one of the most isolated places on Earth, something may still be waiting, hidden, silent, and undiscovered.